Hello everyone, my name is Katy and you're watching my channel Superconsole, and today we're doing a podcast talking about the Nintendo Switch presentation, and with me I have Joe from SpaceKappa.
Hello.
Hello. And we've also got Ryan.
Hello.
My boyfriend and Nintendo Cynic. Which could be fun because you've got Joe and I are probably, would you call yourself a fanboy?
I don't know if I would call myself that, but I think there are plenty of people who would call me that, so we'll go with it.
I think that's quite fair for me as well. I'm probably a bit of a fangirl. I mean, I've already ordered my Switch. Have you pre-ordered one, Joe?
Yeah, actually, my wife woke me up at about 5:30 this morning saying, like, are you sure you want the Neon Joy-Con one? Because she was pre-ordering it on her phone in bed, so we're good.
I have ordered the Neon one as well, so we'll get that out of the way. That's happened. Ryan was quite shocked, weren't you, when I'd already pre-ordered mine?
Well, I mean, like, after what happened with, like, the Wii U and you, like, pre-ordering it, I was being like, Katy, you need to be sensible here.
I'm never sensible. When it comes to gaming, I am never sensible. I don't feel like I was burnt with the Wii U. I know a lot of people probably would say a day one buy of the Wii U was a bit of a stupid move. Did you buy yours on launch, Joe?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was there day one with my launch lineup. Actually, I covered the Wii U launch for Nintendo Life.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
I remember because you always used to get the really good like launch reviews. Because they always came out in the US first, and we've always liked quite similar kind of games, haven't we? And I
think so.
I felt like a kind of fight over the review copies, and you always won. I guess in a more of a general term, how did you kind of feel about the presentation?
Overall, I think it was not necessarily the presentation it needed to be. I think that to grab the general public, the people who aren't already sold and ready to, plunk down the money day one for a Nintendo console sight unseen, I think it was kind of low energy. I feel like they didn't highlight the games enough. They spent too much time on things like the Joy-Cons, and the Joy-Cons are really cool, but they took a lot of time to tell us, hey, this will feel like there's 3 ice cubes in it.
Oh god, that was the best bit. Honestly,
it was cool. But that was a lot of time. And then, you have, I forget his name, but the guy from Sega out there just saying, yeah, we're going to make games, but there's no games to show. He's just kind of out there for 5 minutes in front of the Sega logo.
Why didn't they show the Project Sonic? Because they've already announced that that's coming out on, on Switch. It seems a bit ridiculous not even having a trailer or anything. It just seemed really weird. Same with the Suda announcement. Like, just some random, cute anime drawing of Travis, not gonna lie, it was pretty sweet. But it just seemed very, very out of place and random.
Yeah, and a lot of the announcements actually came after the presentation was over. It's like, hey, here's an exclusive Street Fighter game. Oh, Mario Kart's gonna be out in April, and here's what's getting added to it. Like, that should have been in the presentation. It
was strange, although at the same time, a lot of the stuff that I did want was addressed in the presentation, like Splatoon 2.
I loved Splatoon. Exactly. I'm very excited about it. They should have called it Splatoon. But,
Oh my god.
And Mario Odyssey, I am, as much as I'm a very big Nintendo fan, I'm the first person to say I don't like Mario at all.
No.
But this is the first, I know, really shocking. It's like blasphemy for Nintendo. But this was one of the first Mario games that I've liked the look of since like Sunshine and Galaxy. I hated the look of the real world setting.
Yeah.
It looked really weird. Maybe that's just because it's not anything like any other Mario game we've seen, but the rest of it looked awesome. And it just seemed such a waste for it not to be on launch day.
I mean, I imagine they're gonna look at Zelda as the strong launch title and have Mario be the thing that carries them through the holiday. I guess they didn't want to front load too much, but I don't know. Super Mario 64 is my favorite game of all time, and I've been waiting for a new, like, open world, like, 3D Mario since then. I mean, Sunshine was okay. So I'm really excited about Odyssey. It's what I've been wanting for a very, very long time.
I thought Earthbound was your favorite game.
No, that's my wife's favorite game. I do love Earthbound, but Mario 64 is my number one.
There were so many rumors this week that there was going to be a Mother 3 announcement at Switch. Didn't happen, though.
I see lots of Mother 3 rumors, but I keep thinking, like, yeah, this is definitely going to be the time. This is the right time, and then it never happens.
It's never the time.
Yeah.
It's like Half-Life. It's just never going to happen. Sad times. Okay, well, I don't know what the Switch's launch price is in the US.
$299.
$299, and it's £280 here.
Yeah.
That can't be right. I think it's more expensive here. How do you feel about the price, Jay?
It's $50 more than everybody was kind of speculating on. So when they said $299, it was kind of like, ugh. But
close.
I mean, you see how high quality the screen is and all the technology that's going into the Joy-Cons and everything, and you think, oh, okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense why it costs that much.
In terms of the tablet or screen, whatever you're going to call it itself, it seems much more polished and like premium than the Wii U's gamepad.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that was, I don't know what you have in the US, but Ryan and I always liken it to a Fisher-Price toy, like a children's toy in the kind of like the build of it. It's very plasticky.
Chunky plastic, very glossy.
I do like the Wii U, but I can see where the Switch looks a lot more premium and probably deserves that price, really.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's more than I was expecting and a little more than I was hoping for, but I'm not really going to complain about it.
Are the games quite expensive in the US as well?
It seems like for the most part they're the standard $60 that, our new games have been for years. I think there's a couple that are priced a little bit lower, like 20 to 30 for some of the smaller ones. I forget the name of the game I just saw, like something Heroes, like Washed Up Heroes or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that, but that one's only $20.
Has Been Heroes?
Yeah, Has Been Heroes, that's it.
In the UK, at least, I mean, I'm just going to check my order because I kind of blindly ordered. I did that thing where, like, fangirlism just took over and I didn't even look at the price of Zelda at all. Okay, so it was £59.99 here, which is definitely more than $60. Like, it was pretty damn expensive.
Yeah.
And average prices here are about, I don't know, for a new game we pay between like £39.99 and £49.99. So it's a big jump. It's a big jump.
Yeah, I mean the standard is 40, isn't it? I mean 60 is really expensive.
I don't know if these are like placeholder prices. Sometimes for pre-orders they put them up a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
But it just seems really high. But it's interesting to see though that retailers here are pricing it so much higher. Ryan and I were talking earlier about how it's possibly to do with it being a cartridge and obviously holding, files and data that is...
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the new Legend of Zelda game is meant to be 14 gigs. Like, that on a cartridge is actually, like, quite a lot, especially if you want, like, a decent cartridge that has good load speeds and that kind of crap.
In terms of the kind of software lineup, I don't know about you, but when I saw 1-2 Switch and ARMS, while ARMS does look like a kind of cool reinvention of, like, Punch-Out, I felt a little bit like it was an anticlimax after... the initial presentation. When you're going into a software lineup and you're talking about all the exciting software to come out on launch, I just don't feel like it was the best idea to start with what's essentially titles which just show off the controller system.
I mean, they're essentially just like normal shovelware launch titles, right?
But not like Wii Sports. Wii Sports was special.
Yeah.
Sports was great.
Exactly.
Nintendo Land was great.
Yeah,
that's what I'd liken it to, though. Nintendo Land.
But
they came free.
Yeah, that's true.
The reveal for 1-2 Switch, it took way too long. That thing with the cowboys just dragged. I thought it was going to be Wild Gunman.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, it seems fun, but, I mean, they're also pricing that as, like, a full $60 game, which, that's a little steep.
Definitely for something that doesn't actually utilize the screen at all. I mean,
right.
Arguably you could play it without the console.
Right.
Just pointing fingers at each other.
And then moving straight from that into ARMS, like, because you're kind of expecting, like, well, where's, like, the big premium games? Like, what are you launching with? And then moving right into something else like that, it's like, ooh, what's their plan?
Yeah, I wasn't sure on it. They were very long segments for the whole presentation in general, like in comparison to the time we got, like, say with Fire Emblem, which was like a couple of seconds. Right. And I was like, I recognized the the Japanese logo, and I was like, oh, Fire Emblem, and then it was gone in about 2 seconds. So, I feel like
it was weirdly blended together with Xenoblade.
Yeah,
because it just kind of felt like an end bit to Xenoblade. It was just like, oh, here's Xenoblade, it looks really cool, and then it's just like, oh, and by the way, Fire Emblem.
Yeah. When they should be hearing those two, the people I think that invest a lot in Nintendo content often are because they like Japanese games or because they like JRPGs and that kind of stuff that we don't normally get on, PlayStation or Xbox. Xenoblade. Why aren't they heroing those more? Maybe because they don't have mass market appeal. But then neither does 1-2 Switch or ARMS,
Yeah, because those are going to be the games that people hear about through word of mouth, and those are going to be the kinds of things that people show their families. It's not really the type of game you want to dedicate a big chunk of your presentation to when you have the entire gaming community's attention,
Yeah.
Was there anything you were expecting to be announced which wasn't?
I had heard a few rumors. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard the rumors about the Mario Rabbids RPG that had been kicking around.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Mario
Sounds
Rabbids
really
RPG.
But I hear it's being pushed back to an E3 announcement. So, but it's such a specific rumor that I feel like it has to be based on something, right? You couldn't just pick that out of thin air.
I imagine if someone was making that up just to try to fool people, it'd be like, yeah, right, come on, try harder.
But then they're going to hold some stuff back for E3.
Yeah.
It's a new console launch, and it'd be stupid to show all their cards now, and then at E3 when, possibly PlayStation and Xbox are showing off all their new content, it would be crazy for Switch just to be like, Did you say Scalebound?
Yeah, I was just I was canceling all their games.
Just don't say that now. I literally mentioned that in my top most anticipated games list, and then a day later it was cancelled.
It was your
the
fault.
reason.
I was like, I think this looks okay. Guys, it has dragons in.
I think, oh god, Katy thinks it looks okay. It must be awful.
We better crush our dreams now, quick.
Get rid of it. I think the one thing that I was really looking forward to, I was hoping they'd announce, was an Animal Crossing game.
Boy, that'd be amazing.
I mean, as an Animal Crossing fan, the past couple of years have been kind of rough, especially with the spin-offs. I mean, it's been pretty tragic. I was really hoping it just didn't happen.
It can still happen.
It
can still happen.
If it ends up being like the Wii U, where there's just a couple of spin-offs or whatever, and then that's it, I know what I'm gonna do.
Well, I'm wondering if they're holding off an announcement of that until they have the mobile Animal Crossing shown off, so they can show if they're going to connect at all.
It would surprise me if they didn't integrate, because I'm pretty sure there was a patent. That was it. There was a patent. There we go. That's the word.
But people patent things randomly nowadays just for the sake of it.
But it was very specific, and it was talking about mobile integration into the Switch. And because they're building up this whole new kind of system, which they started with Miitomo, I feel like somehow they're trying to form this mobile ecosystem with the Switch. They've got Super Mario Run. It's all going to come together. You wait.
I don't care. I just want Animal Crossing.
You're a big Animal Crossing fan too, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm still playing New Leaf every day. I've played it
every day,
just about every day since launch. I've only missed 2 days since it came out.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
That is...
I mean, I thought I was pretty good with it, but god, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've got almost 1,000 hours in it.
Jesus. So I feel like you might be holding out for a Switch title.
Yeah, I think a nice, HD Animal Crossing would be really great.
It would be amazing. How do you feel about the battery life, Joe?
It's a little bit less than I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting 3 to 5, but 2.5, depending on the game. I imagine it's a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel for long haul flights, it's kind of...
Yeah.
That's what I was really hoping. My Vita is perfect.
Yeah.
For being on a flight. It's amazing. And 3DS, to be fair. When you take 3D mode off, which I never use anyway. Don't know about anyone else. Alright, so let's talk about third-party support, because obviously it was probably the biggest deal breaker with the Wii U. At this time not last year, but this time on the last console announcement with Wii U, I actually do think they had a reasonable amount of third-party support at the presentation before launch. It was the same kind of guys popping up, with Ubisoft, Square Enix, EA. They're all back again, Capcom. But will they last? That's more of the question. Will they stick around and launch some games this time?
I was super surprised to see Steep in the videos, the Ubisoft game.
Was it?
Yeah, I really like Steep. It's a really cool game, literally. Really cool. But
He's been trying to shoehorn that joke in here for so long. Really chilled out gaming, wasn't it?
Really
Ryan?
chilled out. But like, if games like that pick up on Switch, I think it'll help it so much because I mean, the Wii U had like a lot of first-party games, a couple of third-party games, but like I think multi-plat kind of games are really helping along platforms nowadays. Plus, the idea of being able to play multi-plats on the go as well is such a cool idea.
Definitely. What do you reckon, Joe?
Well, the thing is, I mean, this is obviously a pretty big step down in power from the PS4 Pro and, you know, the Xbox Scorpio, whatever that's going to be. And with games getting so expensive to make, and they take years and years and years, I think that the Switch being a lower powered console and supposedly being very easy to develop for, I think you actually could see more third parties go to it and kind of bring back that B tier of game we haven't really had for a few years.
Well, I mean, I think games like Stardew Valley are going to do really well on the Switch. Like any kind of like indie game.
Ukulele.
Yeah.
Ukulele would do amazing on the Switch. It's coming to Switch now, isn't it?
It is.
It's that kind of thing that would suit it well and would help a healthy lifespan for the console. And I think now with region free, it's going to make such a difference. You know, because Japanese developers are probably the ones that are going to support this for longer. Same with the Vita. You know, Japanese developers have pretty much single-handedly pushed the Vita's continuous development through, right? They're the only ones supporting the system now.
I mean, it is dead, but...
It's not dead. There are definitely a lot of visual novels still coming out for the Vita, you know? And even if we lose the Western third-party developers, I feel like the Japanese will still keep supporting it. And with region free for the system, at least we can import them and still play them. You know, and it's not going to feel like that dead drift that we've got with the Wii U right now, which is very depressing. But hey, as Joe says, you know, if it is cheaper to develop and more people are signing on to it, then, you know, we can hope for the best, right?
Funny that you mentioned the difference between Japanese and like Western developers, because Western developers seem to be the ones who are so obsessed with, you know, realistic graphics and pushing technology as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
Where Japanese developers focus a lot more on style and, you know, different unique art styles that don't need as much power. So I think that could definitely come into play.
I mean, surely Splatoon probably speaks volumes about that, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like the most,
yeah.
It's like the epitome of a Japanese shooter. Like, style over anything else. But it's amazing and it works well and it sells because of that. And people buy Nintendo systems because they like Nintendo first-party games. You wouldn't buy them otherwise.
I mean, Splatoon was pretty much the main game that I played on the Wii U.
Hey, and Captain Toad.
And Captain Toad was great.
So what's your predictions for the future then, Joe, on Switch?
I don't know. I think the fact that it's been so easy to secure pre-orders is a good sign. It means that they're not lowballing it to, you know, drive up demand. So I think that everybody buying it is going to be happy with it. I think it's going to have a healthy first year. I think we're probably going to get a lot of the announcements we were hoping for last night at E3.
I think so.
I think the marketing's just been so much cleaner this time.
So much better. And it helps definitely with the finger clicks and the magic tricks, I think, in the presentation. They were the highlight for me. I loved all their little cheesy and switching over to this person.
That little great snap sound effect is so good. It's so such a good sound effect. No, I mean, even though the presentation itself wasn't as high energy as it should have been, they still make the Switch look really fun. Mm-hmm. And like, even if it doesn't look like it's going to have a ton of software right off the bat, it just looks like overall it's going to be a fun system to play and, you know, show people and take with you. And I mean, that's what Nintendo always does best. Fun.
Exactly. And hopefully more couch co-ops. That's what I'm holding out for.
I was literally trying to get onto that topic because I am so excited for the idea of actually having a system that's like properly goes for like couch co-op. We've always had like a problem with like me and Katy, we've had like a problem with trying to find like titles to play together. Like there's just nothing nowadays.
Except for Overcooked.
Well, like,
Overcooked,
is that
it?
There is a severe lack of like offline kind of like co-op-y kind of games nowadays, which is really sad. It's really sad.
Even Splatoon's couch co-op was I mean,
Yeah, that's crap.
it was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, we didn't even attempt that one.
It was so bad. That's one thing I really hope they fix for Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 is quite a hard thing to say. I guess Christmas will be the real telltale sign for when we know if Switch has done well or not, because you know the people who are going to pick it up on launch. It's you and me, Joe. We're the people.
Yeah.
We are those people that will pick it up. It's the Ryans, the cynics in this world. I think you've been quite positive in this chat.
I'm not like that cynical. If they came onto the stage in that presentation and then just put the Animal Crossing logo up onto the screen, that would be it. I would be on Amazon in a second.
And yet instead you called me up and went, well, that was underwhelming.
Yeah.
No Animal Crossing equals failure. But for me, I think for somebody who's into JRPGs, Switch is already looking good. You know, we've got Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, Dragon Quest, I think, is it 4 Dragon Quest titles? I think 2 of them are Japan only, 10 and 11, I think have only been announced for Japan.
Shin Megami Tensei?
Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's loads of stuff. No More Heroes, not an RPG, but
Still great.
so good.
I want a Suda51 game, and I do have to go back to the presentation a little bit and just, extend my condolences to the poor translator who had to try to keep up with Suda51. He murdered that guy on stream. He just left him out there to die.
I think it was the awestruck by seeing Suda. I'd feel the same. Well, I think that pretty much sums up our vibes. So you've already pre-ordered one, Joe. I've got one.
I'm waiting for Animal Crossing.
What games have you pre-ordered with yours?
Just Zelda.
Just Zelda.
I'll probably pick up Bomberman, though.
Yeah?
And that trailer last night was, that was a great trailer.
I had goosebumps.
Yeah, man, that was like the first, or Twilight Princess.
But voice
the one that
acting.
had all the journalists standing and
The
screaming and
standing
cheering.
ovation. That was
Yeah.
Twilight Princess, when Miyamoto was wearing the Hyrule shield and the sword. Yes.
That's the thing that I think really was kind of weird about the presentation, that there was no clapping or anything. Every time there was a really cool game on, or people came on stage that were really big producers and stuff, there was just no applause. There was no clapping. I thought it was really weird.
It was in Tokyo. I don't know if they were big on that kind of stuff there. I don't know. I've never been there.
They're certainly big on the DJs though.
That DJ.
Yeah.
So trancy. That's the difference though, when you have an E3 presentation,
Yeah.
you get really hyped US media.
Yeah.
We'll see that E3. I'm pretty certain they're gonna bring even more games, because they have to, right? They know surely they can't make the same mistake twice and forget the games.
There's lots of studios we don't really know what they're doing yet. What's Retro up to, So we might find out at E3.
Hopefully there's some Donkey Kong on the way.
New Donk City.
Is that the Mario World?
Yeah, the New York analog is New Donk City.
Of course.
Which is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Cool. All right, let's wind it up here then. Otherwise, I'm going to be probably stealing your whole afternoon. And we've got to get back to drinking, right?
Yeah.
But it was lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks. It was great to talk to you guys, and Ryan, it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Voice meet.
Discord meet.
Thank you very much for joining us, Joe, and for all you people for listening. If you're interested in checking out Joe's channel, he specialises in retro gaming. Find him on YouTube on /SpaceKappa. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!
All right, thank you.
Bye.
That's it from our Nintendo Switch podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Nintendo Switch. Will you be pre-ordering one? What do you think of the launch lineup? Are you excited for any games coming out soon, or you got some predictions for the coming year? Let me know in those comments, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.